A365. Did I see the Muppet boxing game? No. I saw the trailer for the new Resident Evil. What else did I see? Can't remember what else I saw. I need coffee first. It does look cool. Sounds cool. Man, you showed up right away. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Best trailer of the show? Yeah? What's it called? I should get caught up on Games Fest. I'll be honest with you, I've been so busy with real life stuff. That's amazing. It's marked TBD though. Did they give a release date? This says release date to be planned. It's not even given a year. That's freaking amazing. Watched it like 6 times. Alright, let's see this thing. Yeah, felt that boxing. Felt that boxing. Hello.
Fuzzy, the tournament of a million punches, you'll get yourself killed!
Hello.
Alright, you little sick of fuzzy shit. Show me what you got.
It's Fozzie. Fozzie was always my favorite. So I actually grew up watching Muppet Babies. And I liked Muppets Tonight. I watched that all the time. That was great. I'm good. Thanks. How are you?
Don't waste my time.
Slow motion. Does that say Neverlast? That's amazing. Yeah, instead of Everlast. This is Neverlast. Wait, was that Gonzo? He looks like Fozzie. It's not really Fozzie. Like, they're just supposed to look like the Muppets, I think. That's amazing. Looks pretty cool. I'm not sure what that question is. It's definitely different. The characters actually look like puppets. There were only a couple of times where I could tell it was computer generated. That's what the top Reddit post says. Well, the one I found anyway through Google. Like the suggestion from search. So I'm assuming it's the top. Yeah, see, I look at Reddit. People are honest on Reddit. It was pretty interesting, man. I'm gonna have to check out the rest of this Game Fest. Looks like it's actually pretty good. Like everything I'm seeing so far from Game Fest looks pretty good, actually. Like I said, I saw the Resident Evil 9 trailer. I saw that. It was all trash? Okay, MDL. Let's see. Isn't he the one that, like... Isn't he on to, like... we won't talk about him. We won't talk about him. I do watch him sometimes, so it's like... Still the same stuff as always. Just fed in a different package. So yeah, like I want to get caught up on it because I want to see how it is. I was just trying to like find what some of the games were. Will we finally get Bloodborne 2? No. Why are people still asking for that? Haven't they, like, officially said, like, just no? Oh, you gotta go to the race. Have fun, man. Stay safe, seriously. Be safe, but have fun. Thanks for coming through. All right, yeah, I'll check out the website. You guys know SummerGameFest.com is a website. I know. I have a drink with my coffee so that I know I'm weird. Because coffee dehydrates you. Don't worry, you have a motorcycle helmet. I know, 2 drinks. I know. I'm too advanced for you guys. That's all it is. I'm too advanced.
I like their graphic, it's really cool.
The following program may contain content that some viewers find offensive. It might contain flashing lights, and then I couldn't read any further because it took it away. You know what's funny? I can read. This is another thing that, like, I feel like nobody talks about because everybody's afraid to. Nobody's ballsy enough, right? I read pretty fast. I know this. Like, I can actually read really fast. Especially out. Actually, surprisingly enough, I can read out loud faster than I can read to myself. Because I want to fully understand what I'm reading, so I'll read it like a whole bunch of times. Like, I overanalyze everything. So, no, not everything, but most things. Anyway, why, like, is it very common in games for people to make that mistake? Like, we know that this is a regular thing. Like, we've understood this for probably decades now. And, the mistake is that because you know what the words say, you leave them on the screen for a shorter period of time, and then downright, like, some people that might teach or like do something else or something like that might even say something to the effect of, "You didn't read that fast enough? I read it just fine," or something like that. Well, no, you didn't. You know what it says already because you wrote it or you've read it before. You just know what it says. So, like, it just imagines you're not reading it. You already know. So people make the mistake of not actually, like, taking the time to see how long out loud something takes to read. Read it out loud. Because you have to get through the words. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't already know what it says. You have to still get through the words and read them. Read it out loud. This is the amount of time you should leave the text on the screen. For anything. Now, I mean, a warning's a warning, whatever. I'm just saying, like, if you want people to read your statement and you want it to sink in, there are reasons why Obama used to leave pauses. There are reasons why Obama used to leave pauses in his statements. Because it's easier to follow. Easier for him to remember. And just easier overall in the end. You see how I did that? I had to take a second and pause and think about it. That's why he does that. It's thinking about what you're going to say before just bleh. It's called being intelligent. So, anyway, I digress. Almost everybody does this, though. You know what the statement is, so you don't take long enough to read it out loud. You just leave it on there. You know what it is. That should be enough time, a few seconds. No. If it's a paragraph, like 3 sentences, leave at least 30 seconds for somebody to read that. At least. Again, read it out loud. You get what I'm saying? For 3 sentences? Yeah. Who knows? But, like, what's in those sentences? How big are the words? How long does it take you to get through it as you read it out loud? You know what I mean? Like, if you don't know what it says. So, that's the sort of thing where, like, I feel like people that aren't, you know, like, they kind of, like, it's that way where they poke fun at somebody that is. They get to poke fun at somebody that actually is intelligent. And instead of just No, no, like you're the one kind of doing that, man. Just make it a little bit longer. You know, it's like thinking. It's like when the guys that listen to metal sit here and they go, "I don't want to listen to that. It's not fast enough. It's not heavy enough." What does that mean? It's not heavy enough? Pretty sure there's plenty of distortion in there. So you don't like the tone? Okay. We'll listen to a different album then or something. Like, you know, that's why I'll never understand why a band does the same guitar tone on every album. That's why I'll never understand that. But, yeah, like, you know, just, it's exactly like that. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, it's not heavy enough? Oh, but why? Because it's not fast like your speed metal? So what? Doesn't mean it's not heavy. You get what I'm saying? I think you get what I'm saying. It's trying to like make something out of something that it's not, you know. And then yeah, like same thing with your message. If your message is there and somebody reads half of it, what was the point? Anyway, sorry. This guy. He always does it, doesn't he? Well, he's good. I've always thought he's good. Do people not like him? I don't know why. If that's the case. I always thought he was good. What's wrong with him? I feel like there's this thing where people try to like cancel every person on the planet now or something like that. You're either canceled or you're not, right? Why are we doing this?
Special thanks to Dante. I was reading my feed this morning and saw that he canceled a date and he hopes I don't disappoint him.
Oh, see, canceling. He's talking about canceling something. Jace. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. See what I did there? Like, just out of context.
We're going to do our best to make it worth your while. We have...
Did I just see something about Deadpool? Wait, was there something for... Is there, like, Hitman content? Oh, it's 007! Wait, is 47...
There's a little difference.
Wait, that's... Okay, alright, I need to watch that. Yep, I need to watch it. About an hour and a half in... There's something, I think IOI might be finally releasing some juiciness on 007. Because you guys know they're the ones working on that 007 game, like, very hush-hush. The same people that brought you Hitman 2 and 3. So well, you know, so expertly. The same guys that brought you that. Well, people, I should say. But yeah, same team that brought you that. And, well, is it the same development team? I know it's the same company. But, yeah, they're doing that. And I think, don't quote me on this, but I saw an image of 47. And I saw 007. That's what I just saw. So, yeah. Cool. Because despite what people tried to do to that game for me, and certain support people, I have no ill opinions of IOI. Obviously, make good game. I'm gonna finish this, and it's painting day. Yeah, so 365 came in here and wanted to chat up games right away, so that's cool. So that's why we're discussing that. But this stream, we're actually this is should be most, if not the rest, of what I'm doing with this particular project. So I have to paint. Today's painting day. So it's dry. I sanded already. I was already up doing that. I got up early to sand those down and check on the other one. The other one that I had done later on that night still was not. It wasn't. So I got a fan. Don't do like the whole blow dryer. Don't do that with that stuff. You don't heat up material. Get a fan. A fan will circulate the air. So yeah, I got a fan, and it helped. It helped. It finally it was towards the back of the room where there was less air circulating, obviously. And yeah, it was the last one I did. It was a small hole, but it was still just kind of lingering. Still pretty pink toward the middle, so I had to put the fan up. And yeah, it took care of it in about an hour or so. So yeah, just the air just blowing all over it for that whole hour just helped to really push it over the edge and get it to the point it needed to be at. So yeah, that's what the project is today, is painting. Today is painting day. Today is painting day. I am glad to hear that he has a helmet, by the way. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Okay? It's a once you reach a certain age thing. Okay? When I was younger, I probably would have been stupid and I probably would have rode a motorcycle without a helmet. We actually have I think a no helmet law, right? I think it's optional here. However, I don't agree. Now, I agree, less regulation, try to let people decide for themselves with certain things. That I agree with. But as far as myself is concerned and stuff like that, and other people, I will always recommend helmets and stuff like that. It's the sort of thing where, yeah, when I was younger, maybe, I don't know, probably, maybe, but I was wrong. I would have been wrong to. That would have been incorrect. I would have wanted the wiser me to be like, psh, wear a helmet, because it's a seatbelt. Your helmet's your seatbelt. You don't want a seatbelt on a motorcycle because you don't want that motorcycle coming with you. Hell no. But your helmet's your seatbelt. Now, helmets needed to be designed better, let's be honest. For a long time, they were designed improperly. But they got better. They got a lot better. And they're way better than they used to be. But yeah, if you are ejected, which you will be, if you have an accident on a motorcycle, you will be. It doesn't take much from that. If you're ejected from a motorcycle without a helmet, you're going to be very lucky if you survive that. I'm just putting that out there. I'm not trying to, be scary or anything like that, but anybody that's thinking about getting a motorcycle or anything like that, please, you're not a dork for wearing a helmet. Don't let your friends pressure you into thinking that it's cool to not wear a helmet or something. Don't hang out with people like that. Seriously. You want to wear a helmet? Wear a helmet. Make it cool. Put like freaking Viking horns or some shit on that. Nobody's gonna make fun of you then. Seriously, you gotta wear a helmet, man. Got to. You never know. Again, it's not about you. It's about that jerk that's gonna blow the light going 40 or 50 and run into you or hit you from the back or so, like whatever. You know how I give him plenty of room. If I see a motorcycle, I back off and give them plenty of room. Because at any point, they can just take off, and they're down the road anyway. So I just give them plenty of room, because that's the point, that they want to know that you're going to do that, or they're going to probably turn off somewhere, they're going to get a little nervous, They don't even want you behind them. Because motorcycles can get harassed, and it causes a problem. Please give them room. And please, if you're gonna go out, wear a helmet. It's not cool to not wear a helmet. I don't think it is. I think it's cool to wear a helmet. I think it's cool to drive slow too. By the way, driving fast is not cool. It's not cool. On a racetrack, that's really cool. On a road, that's not cool. It's not cool to drive fast. It's cool to drive slow. Yeah, you're driving slow, pissing people. Meanwhile, they're getting all angry, yelling and shit. That's cool. You know why? Who cares? Now, don't be going like 35 on a highway. Obviously, let's be a bit reasonable. But you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? You want to linger around the speed limit. You don't feel pressured. Safety is cool. It helps. It protects. It attacks. It gives Ant-Man its taco back. I'm just kidding. It's hard not to think about that. That Hulk meme was great. It was. I liked that one. That was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was great. What this rain is like coming down in buckets, man. It's coming down in buckets. It literally is like like buckets. It's crazy. See the rain a little bit. It's pretty relaxing. But yeah, like it's like really coming down. Oh, now it's not. It actually sort of calmed down a little bit. But it is raining, as you can see. So yeah, anyway, yeah, I just figured I would show you guys what I was talking about, except as soon as I went out there and once I come back and get you guys, it stopped raining buckets. It wasn't raining like that for too long. I just happened to look outside and it was like that. See, that's why. That's why, man. That it does. It dehydrates you. It really does. And then my throat. See, I like hot coffee because it's nice and dilating. You know, it's nice and dilating. Gets all the stuff all cleared out. And yeah, like it's the aroma, the caffeine content isn't too high, you know, but it's coffee, you know. But yeah, for thirst, no, not iced coffee either. Don't go thinking that, oh, I'm thirsty, I'm gonna get iced coffee. Nope, same thing. Don't. And no, it's not the caffeine. It's the coffee. It is not the caffeine. That is a common misconception because that is what people thought for a long time. That was proven wrong. It's not the caffeine. It's just it's the coffee. I'm all right. So I'm gonna tell you why. I'm just gonna tell you. The coffee itself, the grit of the coffee, when it gets brewed and stuff like that, it doesn't quite break down enough. Like the amount of, like when you drink coffee, the amount of dense fluid with like other types of particles, like it's less water than you probably think. Like it's actually really filled with that coffee. It's a brewing process. Yeah, so if anything, it's more like beer. Obviously, no alcohol. But you know, like it is very binding. It is heating up and it is binding that water to that. When you're drinking like a clear fluid, and I'll be honest, yeah, there's some stuff in this, but it's a clear fluid. The first ingredient in this is water, but it's coffee and water. So, you know, what's left to determine what's causing that? Do you really have to think about it too long? Coffee, water. Which one hydrates you? Okay, water. Okay, so then the thing that's doing it. And yeah, like that's flat out. I just try to think about it like that. I think about it like anything that you brew that's gonna have this certain level of little things, you know, that go through you get what I'm saying? It falls from a filter. Now the filter does serve its purpose, but they're there. It's just different. If you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. It's still permeable. It's still like the filter is still permeable. Stuff's going through it. The water's going through it. So you know, with stuff like this, you know, clear stuff and stuff like that. Yeah, like it's just different. And yes, it's not the number one thing for thirst. Obviously, water is, but it's still better than coffee. And then juice can, but juice doesn't even really do it as much either because again, there's lots of fruit in there. So it's gonna do other stuff, you know. It'll use the nutrients and stuff like that. But again, yeah, you need water. So yeah, the point is the medical logical way of looking at it would be to explain that would be then. Your body has a much harder time separating the water from this because of what happens. than it does from the and then likewise, you know, with other stuff. You know, that's the point, is how hard is it for your body to process that thing and separate what it needs. Water is just water. And yeah, like that's why I said like with clear drinks and stuff like that, usually it's a little bit better, just because, you know, you're a lot closer to the water content of whatever it is. You're not throwing a bunch of stuff in there and darkening it, you know, just diluting it more with other stuff. That's all I'm saying. Because, yeah, like, once you dilute something, you can't even lighten it back up again with coloring or anything. Like, when you pour this out, you can pretty much see through it. Like you can with, like, lemon lime soda or something like that. You know, so lighter sodas, yeah, for sure. I mean, if I feel thirsty or something like that, that's why I'll gravitate towards more of a lighter soda, like a Sprite or a Mountain Dew, or something like that. I know I said Coke and Pepsi, but like honestly, truthfully, like they're both good on their own ways. I just like Pepsi better. I really do. I just like Pepsi products better. They're both good in their own ways. I like Pepsi better. But yeah, the lighter drinks, you're gonna gravitate towards that for more of a thirst, because again, yeah. I mean, that's just how I feel. This is how I feel. But I think that's kind of normal, and the body has an easier time processing it versus something you're drinking that has like molasses, sassafras, stuff like that, darkening it. But then again, I mean, it's still soda versus coffee. You know what I'm saying? But again, really reiterating that that's still for thirst. You obviously want water for proper hydration. Vitamin water is pretty good. I like that Power C. It's pretty good. I know it has sugar in it. If you can have sugar, fine. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I know everybody's like, oh, sugar. I get it. Everybody has diabetes. Some people don't. Do I look like I have done? Freaking, I'm like sitting here eating entire bags of candy and stuff like that. No. I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. If anything, I get energy after eating the candy. Yeah, the sun's out. Man, can't wait to get this done. We're gonna paint. We're gonna paint. I'm gonna get a little bit of ice cream. Just a little bit of ice cream. I'm gonna have just a little bit of ice cream. I had a couple slices of my margarita pizza earlier. So that's over here. So I already had food. So yeah, I'm just gonna eat a little bit of this, a little bit of this. That's project time. But again, today's just painting. Everything's finally like done. Painting's the last thing. It's all taped up. That's what we did last night. I taped everything up. So again, this is let me just run through everything we did. Patched the first hole, and the first hole was there from the doorknob. So the door, I got a door stopper to prevent that from happening again. So I put the door stopper on too. Patched the hole. There was a second small, really small hole, like further up that we patched. Just like right up from that. Must have been something hanging from the door that did that or something. So patched that. Then I cleaned everything. I literally just determined that the walls and the ceiling needed to be cleaned and not just sanded down. So I got some degreaser quality cleaner. In case you're wondering what I was using, it was a sort of type of degreaser quality cleaner. Started just really scrubbing the walls, ceiling, got it all clean, dried off, then sanded them all. Then as I was doing all that and cleaning up and sanding and stuff, I found a few more holes and stuff that I wanted to patch up. So we went back to Lowe's. I grabbed a couple more patches, and I did that. Or I'm sorry, not patches. Spackle. I had to grab more spackle, and I'm really glad I did, because it's just gonna look so much nicer now. So I filled all that in, sanded. I'm sorry. After that, I then had to play the waiting game because the spackle needs time to dry. So as we're doing that, I just prepared for the next day. I taped everything. I taped the trim with painter's tape, taped the door trim. I taped a few things I just didn't feel like removing, like the outlet, the switch, and stuff like that. You can do it if you're good at taping. You can do it pretty easily. You don't have to remove the stuff. So I did that, and to prepare for when it's dry. And I woke up this morning, sanded down all of the spots that I could, but the last spot I did was still a little bit damp, still a bit pink. So I had to get like a house fan, and just like a fan, and just put it right in front of there, and had it blowing on there, and it really helped to rapidly dry it. And within an hour, it was ready to sand down, and I got that sanded down, and just came down here and had some coffee and started the stream, and here we are. So today is painting, and that's the point. Is you got to patch the wall, fix all the little imperfections, fix every little thing, because when you paint it, you want it to look nice. So it helps to get all that stuff all fixed up and looking good, and so that way the door isn't whacking against the wall again. And just every time you open the door, it just thump against the wall. So there's just a hole where the doorknob is. Because it was just hitting the wall. There was no door stopper. There used to be. It just freaking broke, like, I don't even know how long ago. So I finally did that. I'm getting it done. Getting it done. I'm even gonna paint the ceiling. I'm gonna paint the ceiling and everything. I'm painting 3 walls. There's one wall that I am not gonna bother with, but I am painting 3 walls. It'll look fine. It'll look good. too much. Just a little bit of ice cream. Just a little bit. Just a little bit in there. All right. Well, I think it's about time to start painting. I'm ready to get this done, man. I'm ready to get this done. And again, I can't get over how good that spackle is. I know I kept saying it. It says right on there too, it's like the #1 America's brand or something like that. And I was like, no wonder, you know, like, duh. No wonder, it's freaking awesome. It's just the sort of thing where you can't even appreciate how good it is until you use it. Because I really did, when I was in my school, I used to do this all the time, seriously. Like, just people would run into the walls for sparring and stuff. Even martial arts run into the walls all the time, you do drywalls. So, truthfully, I really had to patch holes all the time, and the spackle that I used was not even nearly that good. It was a pain in the ass. It was always really dry, and I had to, like, really mix it, and just really, and then it would be fine. But this stuff, it's gonna save you time. It is. It's gonna save you time. Because, like I said, when I got that fan on it too, it rapidly cooled. It rapidly dried, I should say. So if it's not drying, it's definitely humidity. Get like a fan on it or something. But again, it really is some good stuff. It's really solid patchwork. Now that it's dry too, it's really solid too. Probably wondering, well, how's it after it dries? Trust me, solid. I was like knocking on it and stuff, tapping on it. It's solid. The patches are fine too. Even the one that came with the little kit that I didn't like as much, it's fine. It's fine. It just took a little bit more work to get it to like sort of stay there, you know. The other patches like have an adhesive on the back, and you just it's so much easier. Hello. But yeah, that was the DAP Drydex. The DAP, that's what's called, right? Drydex. It's DAP. From DAP, it's that pink stuff that you saw on the thumbnail. That is the spackle that we used, and it is absolutely outstanding. Couldn't believe it. Seriously, highly recommend. Yeah, if you're just using like some brand you're not happy with, you just kind of like, yeah, spackle. Trust me, try the DAP. Try DAP. The one with the pink lid and everything. Try it, and then you won't tell me that anymore. Just give it a shot, and then you'll be like, holy! You'll want to buy a pallet of it. You'll be like, trying to get it order it wholesale probably. Seriously, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. If contractors knew, I'll bet they would order it bulk. I'm dead serious. It's that good. You guys know me. I don't really say that about anything unless I'm serious about it. I'm very, very critical about stuff. It's good stuff. Very, very good stuff. Even like when applying, it was just so easy to use. Like that was the main thing. Like, yeah, it better be strong later, but no, like the ease of use is how good your patchwork is. Obviously. Alright, let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'll come clean up later. I'm gonna grab another Mountain Dew on my way up here. All right, we are ready to paint. Yep, dry decks. I'm looking right at it. That's what it says. Dry decks. That's the. It goes on pink and dries white. Says America's #1 seller. I'm gonna turn the house fan on again though, so you're gonna start hearing a whole lot of noise. That's what that is, by the way. There's a house fan here, so. Okay. All right. You know, I'll be honest with you. There's one thing I don't have, and it's not that big of a deal. You want? I can just use the pink thing that came with the DAP. This is or the pink thing, yeah, the plastic thing, I should say. It's white actually. There's a little plastic putting knife that came with the dry decks, and I could just use that as a paint stir. I forgot to grab a little wooden, like a wooden paint stir. I forgot to grab one. I'm such an idiot. It's like the one thing. The things that are free, right? They're totally free. I totally forgot to grab one. You just grab it. Yeah, because it's literally just like a little piece of wood. You just gotta throw it away. Oh, whatever. Instead, I'll just use the plastic spatula. It's fine. I would rather not. I would rather not use that. I would actually rather use the proper thing, but I don't know what else I have. I think I have a small piece of trim, like just laying somewhere, like a piece of wood trim. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'll find something. Well, actually, I had a wooden paint stir in the basement, so I had one ready to go, and it's even was used for white paint. So, yay! Ideal solution. All right, now let me just get
this back up here. There we go. I can't wait to try it. Nice. Ah, you said. Okay. Roller ready here. It's on. The roller is on. Extra one here, we'll put aside. All right. Here's my tray. Here's my paint tray. All right. So I got my rollers ready. Now I will open the paint and stir the paint. Let's see what we got here. Okay, boy, that does look like a nice color, a nice white. It really does. That's what I needed. I needed a nice one, not just any old white, but a good one. Nice, vibrant white. All right, we'll stir this up. Stir. Stir, 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 and then pour, pour, pour. So what I'm doing here is I'm just stirring it up so that way the paint's all mixed together and you're not losing a good bit of this or that as you pour it out the first time. You gotta mix it up. And then you pour it, put the lid on, set it aside. You know, don't have it in your area. Don't have it where you're gonna knock it over. Put the lid on. I pull out, I'm going to drag over the edge here. I stir. Okay. I can just go there, that's fine. My tarp can get paint on it. That's what it's for. Alright, so that is actually what I'm going to do now. I'm going to push my tarp flush against the wall. That's what it's for. I want it to serve its purpose. Okay. Now we pour. Pour a little bit. Okay. And you don't need much. You really don't. You got a full bucket. You don't need much for one wall. I wouldn't go crazy. You don't really know how to pour it. You really don't want to go crazy. You know, you just what you need for the job, and then pour more as you need. All right. Put it back on here. Okay. Now I don't put the lid necessarily fully on or anything, but I at least set it on there and tap it down like once or twice, so it doesn't just, you know, easily come right off. And then I set my paint aside. There it is. I can still pull it off, but it's not gonna just like jolt off and fall and hit something and get paint all over it. It's just the fact. So I'm gonna set this aside on my tarp, but still aside. All right, here we go. Roller in the paint, and then you pull it up the. If you have a tray, you gotta pull it up the tray. You pull it up the thing. And then you roll it. All right, good now. All right, so I'll just start. I need to get my ladder. Just because I want to look at the top part of this, because I actually don't think I need 2 coats. I think I'll be able to get away with 1.
but I have to see it. I have to like really look at it. If you notice I'm going slow, it's because I am trying to avoid doing 2 coats if I can. If I have to do it, I have to do it. But I am trying to just be very, very careful here. So I only really have to do 1. And if that's the case, then I end up saving a lot of time. But if not, then it's fine. It's not a big deal. Just one try. Also, depending on your roller, like if it's a new roller, you're gonna have to go slow too, because otherwise, if you get too fast with a new roller, it's just gonna splatter. You really can't go super fast with a new roller. And these are new rollers. That sound you hear is me able to simply roll the roller straight into the side of the door trim because I put tape there. So basically, like that's the point I was making, is if you do it right, you really do save yourself a lot of time instead of removing things and doing it that way. I just use the tape. Stinky, stinky. Stinky, stinky. It does stink a bit. Luckily, the drywall paint doesn't really smell like acrylic paint stuff would do. No, it's a bit sticky. It is. It is stinky. It's already looking awesome though. I'm glad that I went with the white. And my patches aren't perfect. They look very amateur, but I don't care. Yeah, they're not perfect, but they're strong. That's all I care about. And once we get paint over them, they won't look so bad. I'll just be honest with you. I ain't like some contractor, you know. I did used to have to do this, so yeah, you're just pulling it from the bottom up into the little ramp, just rolling and rolling around.
Getting there, guys. Getting there. Pour some more paint. Pour some more paint.
didn't think I wanted to tape it, but I do. first coat and is looking pretty good. I think I am going to have to two-coat it, but the first coat's looking pretty good. Now, this actually surprisingly doesn't take that long. You know, for paint to dry, you know, like the whole saying, watching paint dry and stuff. Well, surprisingly enough, wall paint and stuff like that actually doesn't take as long as you'd probably think. And if you get a fan on it, it actually will dry fairly quickly. I'm not talking fairly quickly like momentarily, but hours, yeah. Yeah, like it, instead of it being like overnight, you can kind of put your second coat on. You know, like I said, it won't necessarily be perfect, but you can start kind of doing more. If it really does start drying like it should, and it does. You know, like it's good paint. According to this paint, it should dry in an hour, and you should be ready to recoat within 2 hours. So, what I'm going to do is, as I'm painting here, I'm going to paint other places here too. As I'm painting, I'm actually going to bring that fan in here and utilize that. Just to try to help get some air circulating on that wall. And that way, it'll be dry in time for me to put my second coat on. We got an oscillating fan here, so it'll turn and stuff too. So that'll actually help, because then it'll turn to all the parts of the wall. It really will help with drying. It really will. Really, really will. Alright, now let me actually, let me tape something else here that I decided at the last minute I'm going to tape up. I just don't feel like taking anything off, you know what I mean? I just tape it up. So if you have to go around something that's like round, what I do is I just tear off a piece of tape, and then I again start tearing the tape in smaller, elongated sections, and then I just start kind of going around the outside of the round fixture with the pieces that I'm tearing off sort of kind of long ways. But again, smaller, really tiny pieces, so that way you can match them up with an edge with something round because it's a flat edge. So you want it to go round, so it has to be smaller, so that way you can mold it properly to the edges. So yeah, I just decided to take a couple other things, one more thing here I'm going to take. Taped up, so I can keep taping. This is already drying. The fan. It's literally already drying with the fan. We're fine. Yeah, like I said, it says right on the can it dries in an hour and it's ready for 2 coats in 2 hours. So probably realistically, if you use a fan, you probably cut it in half. Maybe by a third to a half. I'll be back in a second.
Wow. That is looking...
It started a little dry already. All right. Hello. Hello. It's so the first coat is actually, because again we have this fan blowing on, this oscillating fan. The first coat's actually almost dry, and I'm actually gonna keep going this other direction over here while I let that dry. So I have to properly let it dry if I want to. If that makes sense, I have to. So I'm going to do this a little bit over here. This paint is phenomenal. This paint is phenomenal. Yeah, that's crazy. Again, I just got white, but I should move that stuff out of here. My body wash and stuff. Alright, now time to proceed. So, again, just repainting my bathroom, been getting a lot done. Doing some drywall patching. We've been doing a couple of streams with this. This is the third one. Hopefully the final one, because I want to be done with this project today. All right. Wow, what a difference. What a difference. So I just did a rough paint over. It's about done. Just one part here. But I did a rough first coat. Since I decided I'm doing two. I don't need to do more than two. I'm going to do two though. I don't need to do more than two. This is such good paint. Don't ever do a painting job and expect not to get paint on you. Like, I'm just warning you, if you have something about getting paint on your hands, getting paint on your clothes, wear specific clothes that you have for a painting job. Wear gloves if you need to, but, like again, just don't expect, do not have the expectation of not getting paint on you, because you will get it all over you, whether you like it or not. Even if you're like a good painter, you're gonna get it on you, man. Like I guess there's probably some good painters out there that probably don't, but that's pretty rare. Really good ones will tell you, no, you're gonna get it on you. Part of the process, man. They might question if you're doing it right. If you know, they're like, what are you doing that I've been doing this for this many years and you don't get it on you, but I do. Like, we'll probably question, like, I don't know if you're doing it right. I don't know what paint you need to get for that. Just yeah, you know what? So we'll do. Be awesome. I have no idea how long I've been going to do. No paint on the shower head. None. There is absolutely, positively no paint on the shower head. None. should put something over it. Put my rag over it. There we go. I put my rag over it, so that doesn't happen again. Because, you know, there's no pain. Normal shower. I think it's time to use the brush for this stuff. Alright, there we go. So I think I'm pretty much done with the roller over here. So now, I can go with my second coat. Yeah, this is literally dry. It literally has dried already. That is awesome. That is awesome. This paint is freaking amazing. Again, I'm using the Sherwin-Williams. I'm using Sherwin-Williams. So it's good paint. Absolutely good paint. Yeah, it's again, my first coat over here is dry already, so I'm gonna start putting my second coat on it. And then by the time I'm done doing that, the other spots I did will be ready to touch up. I haven't done the ceiling yet, but that's last. Yeah, haven't done the ceiling yet. I could do the ceiling first. I think normally you would. I'm just doing it for this particular purpose. I have my reasons, so I'm going to do it last. Just the reason I'm going to do it last. Couple here. Anyway, I'm going to start doing the other coat, the second coat on its first wall that I painted already.
because, no lie, it is. You hear me touching it? It's completely dry. That is insane. That's awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the fan back out here until I'm ready for it, so it's out of my way. Turn it back on, but I'm just going to put it like in the door right here. And then stop the oscillation. Okay. Alright, let's go with our second coat. Second coat, here we go. My paint's been sitting on my tray for a little bit, so I'm just going to stir it up a little bit. And it brings this nice, brilliant color back. This really is a nice white color. I know I'm just saying it's just white, but it really is nice. It is white. All right. Oh yeah, 2 coats is all I need. I have not had to get the ladder yet. That's what. That's one of the reasons. It's like I really don't love this annoying having a ladder. It's well, but I'll get it. I'll get there. I could have, you know, I'll be honest with you, I should have just gotten a pole for my roller so I didn't need a ladder. I should have just gotten that, but it's fine. It's because I didn't get a pole. That's all. I just don't have a pole for my roller. You can get a pole. Again, because I put tape down, that's just me ramming right into the edge of something because I can. Try to get as close as I can without using the brush. I'll probably just use, I have a little roller too, but I'll honestly probably a lot of this use a brush. Yeah.
opening is so freaking sweet.
That is looking pretty good. Wow. That is looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. That is a really, really nice white. I really like it. It's all coming together, man. It's looking pretty damn good. I'm going to do some of this trim over here with the brush. While I wait for the other section to be ready for a second coat. I still gotta wait a little bit here, I think, to be honest with you. So let me just use the brush here. Delicately do it in such a way without brush strokes. I'll just have to kind of very, like I said, delicately go back over this and blend it with the gold part. It's pretty good though. Done here. So basically I'm just doing the whole corner with a brush. Again, a lot of it's just blending it without the brush stroke. And a lot of that is not using too much paint. Knowing how to use your brush. go along with you know how you use your brush. What I'm doing is, as I'm getting a little bit more paint, I sort of start back up where I already painted, very gently drag back down again, and then sort of kind of just do the same thing, but I'm not putting any pressure whatsoever. I'm literally basically laying the brush against the surface and letting the weight of the brush do the work, because otherwise you're gonna get brush marks, and I don't want that. I want it blended without that. Now this bottom corner is probably my carpet. Make do here. I can fix it later. Oh no, there we go. I'll start cutting down a little bit. Yeah, that worked. Wow. Cool. And yeah, cool. That works. Let me get this corner up here. All down this line. Roll it. There. Nice. Wow. That corner really came together. Cool. Alright, so now that looks better. That looks way better. So now, kind of, again, I'm just checking on these little parts I went over. What I'm doing, I'm sort of kind of dragging those parts a little bit into the part that I roll, so that it blends better. There we go. Yep, that looks better. Now I don't see them like that at all. Okay. So I did the corner, and I did the top corner near the ceiling. And basically the point is I want to be ready to paint that side there with a roller too. I want a nice clean line here, so I'm going to get some tape. So I'm gonna stop with the paint at a certain point because I am gonna paint a different color in another section here, but very small section, not a lot. And let's say white. And I want a nice clean line, so I'm gonna use some painter's tape here to accomplish that. I'm just going to put it right on the edge of where I want that line to be. There we go. Now I'll have a nice clean line. Line. Alright. Thanks for hanging out with me. Okay, let me just take a look here. Just want to look at my diagrams here. Okay, the second coat is looking really good. I'm just kind of looking over at each of these. Door stopper, brush. This, I just can't. This is such a good paint. So good. I'm really having an easy time touching things up. I'm just touching up down by the baseboard trim over there.
distance away from the door stopper. Now I'll use the little roller. Use that for the bottom part here. Oh wow. Yeah, this other section's almost ready for a second coat. Almost. I'm gonna do up here above the door. I just put the tape in for the clean line. So just putting a nice, since I know I'm doing 2 coats, I'm not trying to go crazy. I'm just putting a nice even coat of white over every section. I'm trying to go crazy. Alright. That is looking really, really awesome, actually. Pretty happy with it.
won't get the full effect until the tape's off, but something really good. Put some more tape over here. I would like to do a different color in this other section. I'm not doing that today. I'm not doing that today. That can be done at a later time. It's not necessary to do today. I was actually thinking a nice deep purple, but like a deep one, almost like a burgundy. Because burgundy is a really deep red, but it's almost, like it's such a deep red that like it can appear purple. So I was thinking like a deep purple. So, I don't know, maybe a walnut. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
together. Let's see. I think I can do that section now. I'm just taking a look around here. You know what? Instead of doing that, just to be on the safe side, maybe I should start the ceiling. Yeah, just to give it a little bit more time, maybe I'll start the ceiling. Okay. Let me get sort of like the trim first, you know, like around the edges and outside. Off the big roller and just do the whole middle part. The small roller really helps not having to use a brush. So like between the top of the wall and the ceiling. Use a small roller. And it's quite useful. Now what I'm doing is I'm also kind of taking the small roller and as I'm applying from the pinch point of the top of the wall to the ceiling, I'm also rolling a little bit over the ceiling to create a gap between the pinch point so that when I use the big roller, I'm not scraping against the edge of the part that I painted already.
sort of moving down here, just moving down. Well, I go about 3/4 of one hole, like the long side, from the top corner of the wall to the ceiling, and then the ceiling part too, the first coat of that. So I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Just sort of slowly moving down the wall here. Yeah, wow. That looks really cool. Alright, so I have to keep going around the other side here. Start using the small roller here for the corner. So I'm doing the top corner of the wall as it meets with the ceiling. So I'm going around for the middle. Alright. I need more paint. More paint. Oh, a nice color. Really nice color white.
also, as I'm over here, I'm redoing the other section that I was waiting for the second coat. So now that's ready now. So I'm doing that now. As well as obviously getting the top of the wall still finish point. So getting all that as I'm continuing to finish the ceiling too. This paint, That looks pretty good. It really does. It's really, really coming together.
And bathroom. Alright. So let me grab this roller and finish up over here. Some spots over here to finish up with. Back onto the ceiling now. So, getting the ceiling over in the hard to get places. Doing all this touch up and stuff here. It's looking pretty good.
Well, as far as the edges. Almost. Very, very close. And I'm just going to start painting all the way through the roof. I've gotten most of the second coat on the walls now. Most of it. I think I've been slowly doing that too. Oh man, it's looking really, actually really good. So I got all around the edges of the ceiling. And now I just need to get again the middle. Gotta go for the middle now. Recoat. Well, coat the middle, but recoat some section. Part where I can switch back to the bigger roller. A little bit more paint. A little bit more paint. Alright. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time, guys. Unfortunately for the stream, we're running out of time. Sorry about that. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. And I'll see you later. Take care, everybody.